Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. What's going on at the Board of Elections? We'll tell you. Illegal immigrants arrested on St. Croix, and your adorable children having the time of their lives at the Boys and Girls Club. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. Top story tonight, delay after delay, profanity, and a waste of the taxpayers' money. All that going on at the Board of Elections. News Channel 8's Wes Small files this report on problems at the election office.
Thank you very much, Jerome. We are at the Sunny Isle Annex, home of the St. Croix election headquarters and the board. I'm here now with Rupert Ross, who is the chairman of the board, and we're going to get right to it. First of all, we're going to start off with a meeting that was supposed to be held, a board meeting or something, Mr. Ross, that was supposed to be held tomorrow. And then we're going to get into some other things that people have been talking about on the talk shows and all over the press about disruption in the election meetings and the fact that some money was wasted and we've had to reschedule some meetings and stenographers literally walking out of session because of disruption. Too many people talking at once. Mr. Ross, let's clear some of this up, and perhaps you could start with the notice about the meeting for tomorrow.
Good afternoon and thank you. The meeting scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9:30 here at the St. Croix office of the Board of Elections has been postponed for an alternate date. Our stenographer that was indicated her availability earlier in the week is unable to be with us, so we have postponed our meeting.
All right. What happened? So we have that, and then stay tuned to News Channel 8 and other media sources for an update from Mr. Ross and other members of the committee on when that next meeting will be held. Some important issues on the agenda, which perhaps can explain the disruption involving the election day. We know about the machines. There's been some talk about the machines malfunctioning or being corrupted. Also about the fact that the stenographer, you have a lack of stenographer, and she walked out earlier in the week, perhaps some profanity and perhaps waste of money. Could you tell us what happened with your past meeting, sir?
Well, on Tuesday's meeting, after some of the procedural opening items on the agenda, the board reordered the agenda and voted to go into executive session to deal with the issue of addressing the issue of the supervisor of elections and to get a report from the screening committee that the joint board had established. During the opening minutes of the executive session, board members began to talk. More than one board member began to talk at a time. The stenographer indicated her displeasure with that. My attempt to remind the board members that only one can speak at a time in order for the stenographer to do her work was unsuccessful. Board members continue to talk and disrupt the process, and eventually the stenographer, even though we attempted to urge her to stay, decided that she could no longer perform her tasks, and she left. The board, at that point, I had already recessed the executive committee, and we had been attempting to get an alternate stenographer to come in so that we can continue with our meeting later during the day. We were unsuccessful to get one for Tuesday afternoon. We got a commitment for a stenographer for Friday morning, and therefore we rescheduled the meeting for Friday morning at 9:30. Yesterday afternoon, on or about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the stenographer that made that commitment decided that she would not be available on Friday morning, therefore the meeting was postponed.
Why is she not going to be there tomorrow?
I cannot address that because I did not speak to her. That was the information that was relayed to me, that she would not be available.
All right. Well, that's it. And unless there's anything else that you'd like to tell your constituents or the public out there, that you'll just have to keep it blocked here on News Channel 8 and other media sources as well to find out the latest episode in this election situation. And I must add that we did contact Delbert Bryant, who is on your board.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he's on the board, and he is involved in this situation. And we did talk to him at News Channel 8, and he informed News Channel 8 that 2 or 3 minutes would not be enough allowed for him to explain the situation, so he declined this interview. With that, we certainly respect Mr. Bryant's wishes, and we thank Mr. Ross for providing us with this information today. At the Board of Elections here at the Sunny Isle Annex, no, you have not heard the last of this one. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And in other news tonight, at least 3 illegal immigrants from the Dominican Republic were arrested by local and federal authorities. News Channel 8's Wes Small was in downtown Christiansted earlier today.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. It's kind of quiet right now as it's just before 10 o'clock in the morning, but all hell broke loose at around 6:30. This is a hangout for members of the Dominican Republic. We all know that. And this is just past Basin Triangle as we come into Christiansted. It was 6:30 this morning. Usually see a wagon here with like bedroom shoes and purses and knickknacks. You know, it's run by a Dominican fellow, and he had his paperwork okay. But it was a joint enforcement operation between local and federal authorities that rounded up some illegal immigrants, some illegal aliens, if you will. What we have is 3 arrested now, and the circumstances go down like this. It was a joint operation between ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, along with Immigration and Border Control, as they came into this area. Usually Dominicans hang in this area so that they can get picked up in a labor situation and go out to work for the day. Well, at least 3 of them didn't have proper paperwork. They were scattering around the area, and at least one then, the first one who was arrested, ran through Jiffy Mart, this convenience store. I went inside just a few minutes ago, and I talked to some people. The man ran through Jiffy Mart into the back where they keep the cases of beer and soda and so forth and soft drinks, and he was wrestled to the ground by authorities. No injuries to report, but the scuffle did knock out a couple of cases of beer. The owners here said that they're not worried about that. They're happy that law enforcement was doing their job and that no one got hurt. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. And a suspect has been rearrested on St. Thomas for burglarizing WAPA. Here's Melody Rames of the Virgin Islands Police Department with more.
A man who was arrested in June for burglarizing the WAPA office in Subbase St. Thomas was charged with 3 additional counts of third-degree burglary for crimes at the same location. Police rearrested 28-year-old Bureau of Corrections inmate Edwin Jose Velez shortly before 9 p.m. on Tuesday, July 12th. According to the police reports, Velez admitted burglarizing the WAPA office and other businesses in Subbase on May 16th, May 19th, and May 23rd. Velez was also charged with grand larceny and petty larceny. Bail for Velez for all charges totaled $75,000, and he was returned to the Bureau of Corrections pending further court action. And 3 minors were arrested in the act of burglarizing a private home when alert neighbors called police. According to the police reports, Zone C Command officers were informed of 3 suspicious males in the residential area of Estate Friedenhall and a possible burglary in progress. As officers conducted an inspection of the area, 2 minors were observed climbing out of a residence window, and another minor was apprehended while attempting to flee the scene. Police said the 3 male minors, one 15 years old and 2 16-year-olds, were in possession of jewelry, electronics, and other items belonging to the homeowners. The minors were released to their parents' custody pending their appearance in juvenile court.
And we want to thank Information Officer of the Virgin Islands Police Department, Melody Rames, for her statement tonight. And when we come back from this break, we'll take a look at summer camps on St. Croix. Stay with us.